All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about upgrading the most critical piece of equipment you own. I'm talking about your body's engine. The goal here? A longer, way more powerful life. This isn't just about sticking around longer. It's about high-performance aging.
So let me start by asking you something. What if there was just one single number, a number that could predict with, like, scary accuracy how long you're going to live? I'm not talking about a guess. I mean a real, data-driven prediction.
And get this, what if that number was 90% accurate? I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's more predictive than your cholesterol numbers, more telling than your blood pressure. This isn't some sci-fi stuff, you know? This is the absolute cutting edge of performance science. So, what is this magic number?
It's your VO2 Max. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like some super technical term just for elite athletes, right? But trust me, in the world of peak performance and longevity, this is what they call the golden metric. It is, hands down, the single most powerful predictor we have for how long and how well you're going to live.
Okay, so what in the world is VO2 Max anyway? To really get it, we kind of need to pop the hood and take a look at the very engine that powers your cells.
So, put simply, your VO2 max is the absolute maximum amount of oxygen your body can suck in and actually use when you're going all out. It's the ultimate report card for your cardiorespiratory fitness. You know, how well your heart, your lungs, and your muscles are all working together as a team.
And look, this is about way more than just being good at sports. As the longevity expert Dr. Peter Attia puts it in his book, Outlive, the decline of this exact system is the #1 indicator of death. Think about that. When this number starts to drop, your risk of everything else just skyrockets.
So what's really going on here? Well, it all comes down to your mitochondria. The best way to think about them is as these tiny little power plants inside every single one of your cells. A high VO2 max just means you have a ton of these power plants, and they are incredibly good at using oxygen to churn out energy for, well, everything you do.
And this isn't just about feeling energetic, right? Upgrading your cellular engine is probably the single best thing you can do to defend yourself against the biggest health threats we all face as we get older. It's like you're building a fortress against the diseases of aging. Dr. Attia actually has a name for these threats. He calls them the 4 horsemen of the aging apocalypse. We're talking about heart disease, cancer, neurodegenerative stuff like Alzheimer's, and metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes. A high VO2 max basically makes your entire system tougher, more resilient, almost bulletproof against them.
And wow, this chart right here, this really shows you what's at stake. Just look at this data. If you go from being in the bottom 25% of the population for VO2 max to the top 25%, the elite for your age and sex, it doesn't just lower your risk a little bit. It slashes your risk of dying from any cause by 5 times. A 5-fold reduction. I mean, that is an absolutely insane return on investment for your health. Okay, so the evidence is pretty overwhelming, right? The big question now is, how do you actually build this legendary engine? Well, the great news is that the protocol is really specific, it's backed by science, and honestly, pretty much anyone can do it. It really comes down to a 2-pronged attack. First, about 80% of your cardio training should be in what's called Zone 2. The easy way to think about this is a pace where you could still have a conversation, but you're working a little. You know, you're not just strolling, but you're not gasping for air either. This steady state stuff is so important because it builds up your mitochondrial base. It's like building more and more power plants. Then, for the other 20%, that's when you go all out. That's the high-intensity work that really pushes the ceiling of your VO2 max higher and higher.
And for that 20%, one of the most effective, most studied methods out there is the Norwegian 4x4 protocol. It sounds fancy, but it's dead simple. You warm up really well, then you push to your absolute limit for 4 minutes. I mean, it should feel like you could not possibly go 1 second longer. After that, you actively recover. So you're still moving, maybe walking or jogging lightly, for 3 minutes. You repeat that whole cycle 4 times. Then a cool down, and you're done. Just doing this once a week can lead to some pretty dramatic improvements.
All right, so as we start to bring this all together, let's just reframe the goal one more time. The whole point of building this incredible engine isn't just about adding more years to your life. It's about adding more life to your years. More capability, more vitality, more strength. You know, there's this quote I absolutely love because it just flips the whole script on aging. It goes, don't just settle for living long, aim to be the most dangerous 80-year-old on the planet. I mean, how cool is that? The goal shouldn't be to just, survive.
The goal should be to show up at 80 with so much power and capacity that you can still do whatever the heck you want. To be formidable, to be capable, to be just full of life.
So here's the bottom line. Your body is this incredible machine, right? An engine that was literally built to last a lifetime. And the science is crystal clear on how to maintain it, how to upgrade it for peak performance for decades to come. Really, the only question left is, are you going to do it?